Aloha, one and all. Spastic here with the team analysis. Fuck. Aloha, one and all. Spastic here with the team builder for the UBC Week 1. Now, we've got ourselves a good team, but our Week 1 opponent had to be none other than Gregulator, coach of the Los Angeles Clefable. Greg is a dear friend. We've been in several leagues together, but this is the third time we're going to face off. And to be quite honest, I'm not a fan of his team. His team is outright terrifying. He has Zygarde 50, Jirachi, Tapu Bulu, Porygon 2, Mantine, Gengar, Hawlucha, Raikou, Pangoro, Alolan Graveler, and Mega Camerupt. I think I'm most terrified of Mega Camerupt, but that's beside the point. So this is the team that I'm hoping will actually do well against him. Greg has a tendency to play much more defensively. He also is not a big fan of using Choice Scarfs. So I didn't want to bring any Choice Scarfers, I just wanted to bring some raw power. I think that'll be enough to maybe muscle past his team. So we'll see what happens. For starters, we're bringing Mega Venusaur to formulate the center of the defensive core. I'm bringing 3 defensive mons and 3 offensive mons. It's not a formula that I'm going to follow regularly, but I figure this will work out slightly in my favor. Pretty standard Mega Venusaur set as far as moves go. Synthesis, Sludge Bomb, Knockoff, Giga Drain. The EVs I'm running allow it to take hits from Zygarde 50 comfortably, as well as Jirachi and Tapu Bulu. I mean, Mega Venusaur can just wall Tapu Bulu, barring Zen Headbutt, but this investment plus the bold nature allow it to tank at least 2 choice banded. Well, no, it can take 2 choice banded Zen Headbutts. So Bulu is scary, but hopefully it won't lock itself into Zen Headbutt, and I can fire off either a knockoff or a Sludge Bomb on something else or itself. But so Bulu is scary, but Mega Venusaur, I don't want to say hard counters it, but it's a very solid Bulu counter. It can also take care of threats like Jirachi and Zygarde by tanking hits and just knocking off whatever item they have. It can't really do much to Jirachi outside of knockoff, but knockoff is also for P2, Mantine in case if it's running leftovers. Nothing really wants to have their item knocked off. Bulu doesn't really care about knockoff because it's the Z Captain. But Mega Camerupt also doesn't worry about knockoff. But I'm not going to stay in against Mega Camerupt anyway. So Mega Camerupt and Jirachi and Zen Headbutt Bulu are the big threats. Gengar can also be a huge threat. But otherwise I can tank hits pretty well. Mega Venusaur is just good at that. Synthesis will increase its longevity, and so will Giga Drain. Sludge Bomb just blows Tapu Bulu out of the water. Next up we have Umbreon. Umbreon, I'm running Inner Focus over Synchronize, mainly because I'm not too worried about status. But the main thing I'm worried about is Jirachi. Now with this EV spread, it may look a little funky. I can still take hits from Iron Head, and with payback, I'm hoping that I'll take an Iron Head, take a good chunk of damage, but then deal a ton of damage back to it. The special defense, the careful nature and the special defensive investment allow it to just tank generalized special hits, especially from Raikou and Gengar, which I'm terrified of. I mean, Mantine doesn't really do a whole lot. And Mega Camerupt is also terrifying. So he's got some solid special attackers on his team. Umbreon can take those hits really well. And we're running Wish, Heal Bell, Payback, and Toxic. Payback just so it's not total taunt bait. I'm running Toxic to try and catch some of his other mons off guard and maybe hit him with some really good chip damage. P2 Mantine especially. Mega Camera Up doesn't really like it either, because he doesn't really have a cleric on his team. So if something gets toxic, it's most likely going to be there to stay, unless he's running Healing Wish on Jirachi, which we'll see what happens. So Umbreon, especially defensive wall, but can still take physical hits. Meant to be my Jirachi counter, which I know sounds terrible, but to be honest, Jirachi kinda hurts my team a lot. But Tornadus Therian. I'm running, for starters, I'm not running a nature on this, because I'm running a pseudo mixed attacking set. I'm running ICMZ with Icy Wind to guarantee a knockout on Zygarde, because Zygarde is probably the biggest threat on his team to my team. 1,000 arrows spam is real, and you can just infinitely spam 1,000 arrows. Nothing can take it. Nothing can resist it. So I'm running a fast mix attacking Torn-T. I am running another knockoff Mon because I really want to muck with his items. U-turn for fast momentum, Icy Wind, even not Sub-Zero Slammer, Icy Wind can at least break through Zygarde's subs. If he has a Sub Coil or Sub DD set, a single Icy Wind can easily break his subs, and he does not want to stay in front of that. Acrobatics is solid stab whenever I use ICMZ. It can hurt Bulu substantially. To be honest, Pangoro can get wrecked by it. Hawlucha doesn't like it either. Acrobatics is mainly just to be a generalized, stab move, which he has a couple of resistances, but I have a fast U-turn to get away from everything. Barring Unburdened Hawlucha, Scarf Gengar, or Scarf Raikou, or even Scarf Rachi, but again, Greg's not a huge fan of scarves, so I'm banking on that. Greg, so help me God, if you bring a scarf this week, I'm gonna be mad. But Latios, I'm bringing Latios with Tailwind to hopefully get just a little bit of extra speed boost in case he is running a Scarfer. With the other speed investment on him and Terrakion, I can outspeed his entire team even if they are Scarfed. These three mons can outspeed with a Tailwind at their backs. Draco Meteor is just super powerful stab. I'm usually not going to stay in much longer after I fire off a D-Meteor. Thunderbolt, mainly for Mantine, because that thing is a especially defensive sack of disgusting and I hate it. But it can take hits, but Thunderbolt it doesn't want to take. I have coverage for most of the rest of his team. So, Mega Camerupt and Zygarde I have coverage for, so I'm not worried about that immunity. Raikou and Graveler can both resist it. P2 can just take the hits. I'm not too worried about them because I have other options. I'm running Psychic, Oversized Shock, mainly because Gengar still gets destroyed by it. Hawlucha definitely gets destroyed by it. Pangoro doesn't matter because it's dark and it's immune. Jirachi is equal defenses, so it won't matter if I hit it physically or specially, so I'm just gonna hit it and then skip out. Sounds like a relationship I've ever had. So, Terrakion. Like Latios, I'm running max special attack, max speed with a timid nature. Terrakion, I'm running Jolly, just to ensure that I outspeed Modest Specs Raikou, some of his other threats. If I can outrun and unboosted Hawlucha, if it's I speed tie it with its if it's Jolly. Otherwise, I think anyway. So EQ, Close Combat, Stone Edge, and Stealth Rock. Stealth Rocks are going to be clutch because he has no hazard removal aside from Mantine. And I have enough counters to Mantine that, I mean, Stone Edge alone can take it out. Thunderbolt on Latios, that can also take it down. I'm not bringing Jolteon because I want some power, and with this team as it is, I already outspeed, so Jolteon speed is kind of a moot point. And yeah, it's strong, but with Latios and Terrakion, it has they have a powerful offensive synergy. So I'm also running Stealth Rocks because I have other rockers, but I'm hoping to keep up the pressure. Blastoise rounds out this team as my defense, as my main physically defensive wall. Not really a wall, but it's invested. I'm bringing Blastoise over Fortress because Blastoise can haze, and I'm terrified of Zygarde setting up on me. I'm also running Scald to try and catch some lucky burns on Bulu, Zygarde, P2, you know, anything. I'm also running Protect, try and scout out some of his moves. And I'm running Rapid Spin to get rid of any hazards he might set up. He doesn't have a whole lot in the way of hazards. He has Rachi. Rachi, Graveler, and Mega Camerupt are the only ones that can set up hazards on my team. So I'm not terribly worried about all that, but the rest of his team synergy is absolutely terrifying. He has some powerhouses like Zygarde, Jirachi, and Tapu Bulu by themselves terrify me, supplemented by Gengar and Raikou, and even Mega Camerupt. So that's my team for this week. I'm hoping we can pull out a win, you know, start off this season with a bang. So we'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys in the actual match.